The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the QATV staff or board of directors. QATV, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent, member-produced public access programming.
Welcome to the All Friends Cabaret. It's the show that connects you. Now, I am giggling already because we've already started to have fun with the sweetest lady in town, Beth Veneto, otherwise known as Ginger Betty.
Hello there.
Welcome to our program. Now, this is a long time in the making.
Thank
for
you for
me.
having me.
Oh, yes. Well, I walked into your shop when my kids were little, and you're located right here in Quincy. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing you had been in a movie with Mark Wahlberg. The set was...
Oh, the set was in the neighborhood. Yeah. Let's not start rumors now.
Right. But I went in and I was like, oh, you'd be perfect guests for my show. Now, this was years ago.
And how many years was that?
I would say it's like probably 8 years ago. And now... you are just blossoming. You're all over the place. Food Network, you've got Veterans Initiative. So I'm excited to talk to you tonight and have you on the show.
Well, I know it was a long time coming because it just wasn't, when you would call me, something was happening. But it's so nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. Well, welcome to the program. So tell me, you're from Quincy.
I'm from Quincy, We grew up in Quincy. I'm one of 8 children. Oh. You did meet Tornado Trixie.
And she'll be making
Catherine.
An appearance.
Yes, she will be.
Shortly.
So we grew up right here in Quincy, went to Quincy High School, and then went on to New York Tech. I went to school in New York, and then when I moved back here in 91, that's when I was looking for a job in hotel and restaurant management.
Okay.
And not really a lot of good luck, but the Quincy 2000 was around back then.
All right.
If you had an idea for a business. And I've been making gingerbread since I was 7 or 8.
All right. So was it that you went to school to study baking and cooking, or
I went to school to play volleyball.
Oh, geez.
Let's be clear.
Yes. Okay. So
and
you
then
didn't
I had
have
to take
cookies
classes.
on the brain.
Not until afterwards. I took hotel and restaurant management.
Oh, all right.
But during, the Christmas times and everything, I would make gingerbread houses for friends and things like that. I was working at a Mr. Donuts, which is not funny, from Quincy. I was living in a Howard Johnson's Motor Lodge.
Oh, yes.
From Quincy.
Old school. All right.
So it was funny. So I always made gingerbread and stuff, and I thought about it when I came home. How cool would it be to have Christmas all year long?
Yes.
So it was just a dream, and it was talk about following your passion, following your dreams.
Right, right. And so you came back from New York, you got involved with the Quincy 2000.
Yes.
And then what prompted you? Did you just start this out of your home? Was it?
I did,
You did.
So my mother would be ready to kill me every Christmas because, even this frosting, we call it the royal icing, it's really like cement. So it would be on the tables, on the cabinets, everywhere.
And how did you know you had a knack for because I bake cookies every year and I feel like they come out okay. They're sort of pretty. I serve them to my kids.
Yeah.
But how did you know that you had a knack to kind of share with everyone because they're so cute?
Well, it's funny because when I first started, it was weird and I'm thinking somebody's going to buy this stuff. I mean, I made it. I liked it.
Yeah.
But then it was all self-taught, and so it was like, as I saw myself improving, then it was like, okay, well, if people are buying it. So it was nice, but then it really turned into, because I love to give them away, So I started the tagline as sharing cookies, making friends.
Okay.
And so really, it's just taken it to another level. And I think also, we've been to the White House sharing cookies.
Oh,
We've been to the Super Bowl sharing cookies.
Right.
So it's really gotten us a lot of places.
Yeah, so you have gingerbreads, but also this is the signature cookie that I just love. that has the chocolate on
ginger
it.
snap, the
Yes,
soft
yes.
ginger
So
snap, yeah.
So was that something you created? Like, did you say, all right, I'm going to start this bakery, and what brought you to gingerbread, I guess?
Well, so, you know, and I always say my sister was a pastry chef, so when I was little, when I would come home around the holidays, she was making gingerbread, stuff like this, and so I couldn't wait to get into the kitchen and, you know, see what she was working on, stuff like that. So, I mean, what kid doesn't like gingerbread?
No.
Right?
Yes.
And the magic of Christmas all year long. So it was, you know, the baking piece of it is more of a science, and that's more what she would do. But I'm just like, I like gingerbread, so I wanted to keep it simple. And then
Right.
we would spin off different things. We do macaroons, we do some chocolate chip and oatmeal, but it's all about the gingerbread.
Yes,
And
yes.
even a lot of people, if they don't really like the gingerbread, I'm like, just try it.
Right.
Because it's mild, you
yes,
know.
and it does remind you of Christmas, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, and people are a little nicer, so why wouldn't you want to have Christmas all year long?
Yeah, true, true. Now, let's go back to when you had the movie. Did you work with Mark
Oh my
Wahlberg, or
gosh.
what was that?
Well, listen, it was so funny because I was just coming back from Florida, and I was in the bakery, and I saw like 4 or 5 people in there that I really didn't recognize. And so I'm like, oh, what's happening? You know, they got coffees and stuff. I was giving them some cookies. And then I saw the signs, and they said they were here for the movie.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Oh, we're having a movie? Hello. Nobody told us. What are we supposed to do? Get ready. So they were doing this movie, and they rented out a house like just right around the corner. So I said, all right, stop the presses. I said, get the red carpet, get the signs, get the flowers. And one of my friends said, can't you just watch it like everybody else? I'm like, are you kidding me? Hollywood's coming to our backyard.
Yes,
No
yes.
way.
Yes.
So it was really so cool.
And tell me about, now I'll go to the Food Network.
Yeah.
That is a recent television appearance by Ginger
Oh my gosh.
Betty.
Well, you have to-
And what would someone at home DVR? It's the Gingerbread Bake
It
Off.
was the Gingerbread Showdown.
Okay, yep.
And
Bake
it
Off.
came out on November 28th.
Yes,
And it was
yes.
the parade series.
Yes, which was great because we televised the parade here
Yeah,
at QATV. So I thought, oh my gosh, that was such a cool theme for you to do. How was that? How did you get in touch with the Food Network to be a guest and a
Well,
contestant?
you know what? They actually called me. They messaged me. They were on Facebook, and they called the store. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Okay, so if they come knocking, right? And I was
Yes,
like,
that's
so I said,
awesome.
all right, I have to step outside the comfort zone. And can I just tell you how uncomfortable it was? No,
Yeah.
I'm happy now. I'm happy it was over.
But was it a difficult shoot? Because you had to all create in a matter of what, 2
So
to
it was
4
8 hours.
Oh, 8 hours.
Yeah, I think was it 8
Yes.
or 10 hours. But so I had to drive to Tennessee.
Oh.
I hopped in the car by myself, drove to Tennessee with a bunch of gingerbread. They let you
Bring
do
some
some
of your-
pieces.
Oh, fun.
And then when I got there, my friend Sugar Shane, my good friend from Oklahoma, came, and he was my partner in crime. And so, you know, it was pretty cool. But when we got out there, I was just like, what the heck am I doing here? All like 40 cameras. All I could think of was Baton frickin' Rouge.
You're like, oh no.
Like Cindy Brady, remember when she
Yes.
was on the game show? And I'm like, and so I'm just like, who cares about the 10 grand? I'm like, I want to evaporate. And I'm
Right.
just, and they said, okay, go. But it was so nice.
Yes.
It was so funny. And the other 2 teams, we still talk on the phone and stuff. So it was a real cool
And
experience.
is it real time in order, or do they film like, okay, they do the first 4 hours and you take a break? How does it
Yeah,
work?
they filmed a little bit, and then they had us, you know, do a lunch break and stuff like that. But it was just like,
And how many days was that shoot?
I think we were there for like 4 days. I think most of the shooting was done in 2, but then we had to do some interviews.
Oh, yes.
But it was so funny. So do you know Carla Hall?
Yes,
So
yes.
she's one of the chefs. So I was so stressed out. But anyways, I'm so glad I had this exchange with her. She comes over and she says, okay, so this is a parade in the city. And I said, yeah. And she said, what city? And I said, well, Ginger City. And she's like, where the heck is that? I'm like, everybody knows it's by the North Pole, hello. And she looked at me like, North Pole? She says, oh my gosh, I'm going to need cue cards. She goes, I don't speak Bostonian. Well, I turned around, I said, listen, park the car in the Harvard yard.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So it was
awesome.
fun. It was awesome. And the way they edited, it was really something to see. So I'm super glad that I was a part of it.
Doing it and being part of it in a 4-day and then seeing how they put it together. That's really cool.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing how much actually goes into it.
Yeah, so tell me about your veterans initiatives, which are vast. You do a lot of work, a lot of good work. And tell me how that started for you. How did you get involved?
Oh my gosh,
supporting veterans.
I think I want to say it was 2006 or 7. And so I was on a plane, I was going away for a weekend, and I was sitting next to this soldier, and he just seemed super nervous and everything. So I was talking to him, I bought him a drink, and we just started talking, and just to thank him for his service. And there were probably about 35 to 40 soldiers, so it really put a face with who's fighting for our freedoms. And I'm thinking, here I am going on vacation or whatever, so it really
hit home
me.
for you,
Yeah. And so he was saying that his daughter might not recognize him, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, because he had only seen her when she was born, right?
Oh, geez.
So anyways, we were talking, and he went to West Point, and so through my volleyball, I also was at West Point. We played tournaments and stuff, so we talked the whole plane ride, and I said, give me your address and stuff, so while you're on leave, I'm going to send you and your family cookies.
Yes.
So that's really how it started. And when I got off the plane, he was there holding his daughter. So I have that picture in the store, which it's just amazing.
Oh, so
and
nice.
So then we flew the daughter and the wife in when he went back. And I think we had Mike Ruzioni there, and we just kicked it off. And I started sketching, for the logo and stuff. And it's so rewarding.
Yeah, and you do boxes, right, where you package up and write a letter.
Right.
Yes.
And people, if they want, they'll come in and they'll sponsor a soldier or something like that. But I'll tell you, they send us pictures. It's so amazing. And they're out there, and, now they start to recognize the boxes. They're like, it's Ginger Betty's. And then they'll come home and say, oh, I saw the box. I'm rationing it. We're trading things.
Yes,
What we want, everybody knows
awesome.
it's cookies. And
That's terrific.
yeah, and I mean, we've also made, cookies for General Dunford, General Kelly. So it's kind of fun equating gingerbreads to these, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star generals and stuff,
Well, that's amazing work, and I'm sure you're getting terrific feedback.
Yeah,
for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We get pictures and everything, but I call it the flavor of freedom, because really they're putting their lives on the line and making so many sacrifices, so we don't miss a beat.
Okay, right.
And so really getting more involved in this, and one of the soldiers that passed from Afghanistan a year and a half ago, they were having a birthday party for him and a memorial and stuff. So I drove out to Knoxville, Tennessee with a friend of mine to hand deliver. And the mom was just so appreciative.
That is so...
So you make these wonderful connections.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, let us, before we are going to do a segment where we're bringing Trixie on. And you're going to teach me how to frost the best ginger cookie. But tell me how you got to naming. Because what is my cookie name?
Yeah, Cookie Krystyne.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yep.
And but you name everyone, and you did that on the Food Network too.
Oh yeah, Caramel Carla.
Yes,
she's like, okay, I'll take it.
Yes.
I said, okay.
But everyone has a cookie name.
Everybody is a sweet ingredient.
Yes,
Ginger
right.
Betty's,
Oh, right. That's
and it's
perfect.
fun, I say when the young kids are in, they're coming in, it's like, all right, marshmallow, Maureen, ribbon candy, Risa, lollipop, Lindsay. And
Yes, I love that.
It makes it fun. And as a matter of fact, we talked about before, my house to the White House. So we got to the White House and everything. That was amazing.
How was that?
It was so cool.
Yes.
So when I talk about giving people their nicknames, it was hysterical. But so Tootsie Roll Taylor, she's my manager, and as we're we're driving, right? And we have to be in the stateroom by like 8:30.
And you were there for an event? Was it a veterans event or?
No. So we represented Massachusetts in Made in America. And so we didn't have a ton of time. So we're making John Adams, John Quincy Adams. Yes. I mean, of course, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Ginger Donald Trump was president at the time, and one of our favorites. And so we had all this stuff in the car. And we drove there, and we're almost running out of gas. And I'm thinking, Tootsie Roll Taylor's looking at me. I'm like, okay, suck it in, whatever.
We're going to go.
We get in there. And so we get there, and they have to open the trunk. And it was so hysterical. And I'm like, everything was so serious. I'm like, I wonder if we can joke, right? Well, the bomb-sniffing dogs were licking all the gingerbread. Everything wasn't even wrapped.
I can't see it being too serious. Because
But the guy's like, okay, now I have to wand you. And I'm like this. I'm like, okay. So he's wanding me, and he says, can you twirl around? I'm like a ballerina twirl. He's looking at me like, is she kidding me? And so then Tootsie Roll's there, and he said, I suppose you want to do a twirl too, so she does it.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
We had so much fun, but you know what? The history and everything and all the pictures.
In the White House must have
just
been
walking around the White House was, oh my gosh.
And representing Massachusetts.
It was such
terrific.
an honor. It was really cool. Just to see the place, like, the soldiers unfurling the flags, getting everything ready. It was pretty
What great
amazing.
experiences from an idea as a young person making a cookie. How you've been able to.
And that's kind of the inspiration, like I like to share with the young girls and the women at the bakery, my Ginger Betty babes, as I call them. You know, when you're like kind of unsure and don't have that confidence or whatever, but when you stick to your passion or your dreams or something you like to do, so I say your dreams
evolves.
can become a delicious reality. And then from my house to the White House, it was.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, we are going to pause here, bring Trixie out and some treats, and do a little demonstration. I need to learn.
All right,
And
let's
we'll be
go.
right
You'll
back.
be great at
All
it.
right,
I
awesome.
can tell.
Thank you. And we're back. It's like a rainbow came and
Candyland.
Yeah, just Candyland dropped on the desk, and here we are, back with Ginger Betty, Beth Veneto, with her.
And look who else dropped on the
her
table.
mom, yes, dear old mom.
Hello,
yes,
everybody.
welcome. She is the inspiration
She
for.
is the inspiration.
Yeah. We're going to decorate
everything.
while we talk. So tell me, how did she encourage you? And then.
Oh my gosh, because she was a steamroller. She'd push
Okay.
us to do everything, even
Okay.
if we didn't want to. Right, Trixie?
Okay.
We call her the tough mama.
Yes.
Ginger mama cookie.
I told them they were all good looking and smart, and they
And you
I
know what?
loved it.
And there was nothing that we didn't do. She loves the story how she pushed us all to go, Coke Club, which we all love.
Yes.
And she has 5 girls, 3 boys, took us all down to a Rook Park. And the next thing you know, what did they ask you? We need a coach?
yeah.
So she looks at me, we get home, she goes, do you know how to play softball? I go, what are you asking me for? I'm 7. So what did you do? She went downstairs with the encyclopedias and learned how to play.
Good for you.
So that's what she did for
Very
all of us.
encouraging.
Yeah.
So now, can I ask you, as we go into the decorating mode,
Mm-hmm.
how did you get inspired to? So if you've been into Beth's shop, you see the eyes are a certain way. And the characters, I love it. How did you create that specific?
Well, it was, in the beginning, we were just doing, eyes and faces, and, we had the different color eyes.
Yeah.
But they all seemed to look like possessed. So we stopped doing that. So if you want blue or green eyes, that's a hard no.
Okay.
But, so I like to put, the eyes, we just put them like this, and
Yeah.
then put them either to the left one way or to the right.
All
And
right.
it gives it a little personality.
Okay.
Like, and you can see on this one, see how the eyes are? It's almost in a line, right?
Yes.
With the cheeks.
Right.
And that's typically how we do all the eyes and stuff. But then you just have fun with it. I mean, there's...
Right.
You know-
You don't have like a specific.
No, when we have kids' birthday parties, Trix, you want to squirt some on?
Yeah.
this.
So my thing is I always feel like with baking and cooking, like I try.
Yeah.
Like you see, like someone like yourself or even like Martha Stewart, it's like, oh, make this wonderful looking chocolate cake, and then it looks like a, you know,
Well, you
a
know what
clump
the
of
thing is?
dirt.
So see how you're doing it like there. If I would tell anybody, so you have this big bag right
Okay.
here, right? I just take it like this and you twist it. So now,
Yes.
if you want to decorate, say you want to decorate something and now you're just going across like
Oh.
this, so you can,
It's more of a, you can
it's almost
design.
like tracing too.
Yes.
So if you're squirting from all the way up here, you're going to have to, see how much easier it is?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
See, I
just a
learned
little,
something new.
the little tips and tricks like that. But you know what? It's so fun. And when you see the little kids come in and decorate, because we have the kids' birthday parties.
Yes.
Right, Trixie? You've been to a
Yeah.
couple of those birthday parties.
Yeah, Trixie, how am I doing?
Good.
I'm trying.
Great.
Look at that.
I'm
But you know
trying.
what? And it doesn't
yeah.
doesn't it make you happy though?
Yeah, there's something soothing about decorating.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is a typical week like for you when you with
With the
decorating?
production?
Yes.
So typically, you know, we have all the orders out and Tootsie Roll Taylor,
Yes.
gets them all out and all this together. Basically, I go in there on a Tuesday morning, crack the whip, threaten everybody that all the gingerbread better be frosted when I get back. No. And it works
really
out
tough.
perfectly. Yeah. No, but I'll tell you, Tootsie Roll Taylor, this is a funny story, and it's about, getting employees and talking about, she's inspired me.
Yes,
Now, I
yeah.
try to share her words of wisdom with
Yeah.
my girls.
Yeah.
And she would always say, if you don't ask the question, the answer's always no. Or she'd throw you right into it,
Right.
And so especially during COVID, it was hard to keep some of the employees
Yes.
and to keep that production. So
Yeah.
the funniest story was Taylor. So I'm like, okay, I can't be in here by myself, but I have to work, right? And
Yeah.
we needed to create some smiles during COVID and all this. So I called up after the third person. I'm like, okay, Tootsie Roll Taylor, you ready? Well, my grandmother really doesn't want me to. I said, listen, tell Granny there's enough room in here for the both of us.
And
right?
you were able to.
And I was
keep
like
going?
this. And so, it was so wonderful because she came in. I taught her everything. Well, not everything, but most of the things to run the business. And I'll
she
tell you, she
learned.
was the shining star. She is the shining star right
Yeah.
now at Ginger Betty's.
Yeah.
She's putting together these teams and stuff for the other young girls.
Yeah.
So really, she's kind of taken over that role now.
Yes.
So I'm doing more of the creative, but of course, at Christmas time, I'm on the overnight shift.
Yes, it's
All the
busy.
decorating and stuff like that. But
To keep it moving. So tell me, and I ask this of every guest that I have on the program, how would you, because part of the passion that I have here at the Cabaret is sharing the stories and the inspiration of people that are out there doing kind of neat things that they love to do, which is clearly what you're doing. How would you inspire, like you were telling your girls at the shop, how would you tell people to follow their passions if they wanted to paint or write
you know
a
what?
book or
Well,
bake
you know what?
cookies?
I think the best way, and it's the way that my mother showed me, is by example, by doing it. I mean, it was pretty much a hard sell when I was in on a side street selling Christmas cookies. Everyone's like, Betty, well, this is not going to work out. And I was like, what are you talking about? And the health inspector at the time, he came in a year later and he said, Betty, I'm so sorry. But when you have that passion, so what I would tell the girls, is to really just kind of get in on it, meditate on it. If it's really something you love to do, because nobody has the vision that you have. So here I am at all these, chamber things, and then they're like, oh, isn't that nice? Betty likes to make cookies. I'm like, oh, I am going to. and so I'm like, oh, yeah. But, when you have that vision, so nobody has your vision. So if it's really a passion of yours, stick with it.
And what's the most surprising thing that's come out of it? Owning the shop, doing kind of the neat things you've done. What is the,
Well,
is it everything?
I mean, it is a little bit of everything, but it's just, I love seeing the girls come in there, you know, in it like 13 or 14, 15,
Yeah.
and they're sitting there like the deer in the headlights, but I can't answer the phone. I don't want to answer the phone. I'm like, it's ringing. It's your turn, answer it. And then they're like, and then, but now it's so amazing. But just to see them grow into these young women
Yeah.
who are gaining the confidence
Yep. Mm-hmm.
in things that they're like, you know, I just took them to the Encore, 3 of them the other day for a sleepover, massages, and they're like, oh my God, it was a little employee appreciation. I said, yeah, don't
Nice.
ask for anything the rest of the year.
Yeah,
But you know what? That is really a surprise to me because I didn't, you know, I thought I might get married, have a family. And, you know, it's funny how things work out, but this has been so satisfying and such a joy.
and you have your own family within.
The gingerbread family.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and that's
so nice.
great. But because these girls, and we were talking, and they said, you know what? You taught us how to do everything. And even though they're saying, like, oh, you have to do this and train this, I'm like, no, we're training Trixie's way.
Yeah,
Get over there and do it.
It seems like you were busy with, what, 8 children?
Yeah.
And run a tight ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
she
amazing.
did. And that's
It
probably
was
the
great. I
Yeah.
told them they were all good looking and smart.
Yeah, that's,
And they proved me right.
yeah, oh,
Because they're all doing well.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and she did, and she was the biggest champion. She is the biggest champion for all of us, pushing that. Like I said, she's the steamroller. You might not have wanted to do it back then, but now you're like, wow. So when you do have that person on your side cheering you on, and so I just see it with these girls, and this Christmas is great because when they come home from college, and I'm just like, okay, I'm on the 20th hour, and I'm like, okay, come on in, girls,
And they-
tag team, you're it.
yes, yeah.
And they take over, and they jump right
They're
in.
learning.
And to see them just jump into those roles and take pride, because, you know, a lot of people these days, they don't have that work ethic.
Right, right. And you started from the ground, you know,
Yeah.
with a dozen cookies probably.
And so, a funny quick story is, so Taylor, we went to the Super Bowl to do like a Super Bowl blitz with all the cookies,
oh
and
my gosh, awesome.
we drive out to Georgia, and we're
Were
having,
the Patriots in this one?
yeah,
Oh, good. Good.
yeah, the Patriots in, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
good.
who the heck was in it with them? Anyways, long story longer, we drive out there, we go to the first, you know, restaurant, we go have dinner and stuff like this, and we made 6 of these huge Gillette stadiums with Belichick, Gronk, Brady,
Love it.
Kraft, and then all the cookies. We had like 6 of these huge things. So we're sitting there giving out cookies and everything. Well, my wallet gets stolen.
Oh, no.
Right out of my pocketbook. So Taylor's having a complete meltdown, and she's like, oh my gosh, we have to go. And the guy that we just met there was like, just come with us. And I'm like, yabba dabba do. We're following him and his girlfriend. So long story longer, we go with them. We end up in the Patriots Hotel. They let us stay in their room for 3 nights. And I said, Taylor, you bring your A game. I said, but it's all about the B game. So she said, when the woman was going over, they're putting out all the cookies everywhere over the hotel. And the woman that we were with said, Betty, this gentleman wants you to have this. It was $500 cash.
That is so nice.
And Taylor said, but this always happens to you. Why does this, you know, you always luck out? And I said, Taylor, why did this happen? And she said, because you're a ginger, Betty. And I said, that sounds nice. I said, but we were reading the 7 spiritual laws of success on the car ride down there, and just saying what you put out there and you get back. And then we stopped at Andrews Air Force Base and gave out cookies to them. So what a lesson that was. And she's like, I'll never question you. And so
Yes.
we were sitting there giving out cookies to everybody. People went to the game, and we had the big Gronkowski and Brady. So everyone was stopping to take pictures, right? And so anyways, this kid comes over and said, hey, Ginger Betty and Tootsie Roll, I've been looking for you. We're like, oh, do you need cookies? He said, no, this is my girlfriend, Gabby. and she's Gronk's massage therapist. I told her, she told him, here's 2 tickets for the after party.
Oh my God.
So we're hanging out with Snoop Dogg and this one and Jason Veritek, and she's like, who's Jason Veritek?
Oh, who is Jason
I said,
Veritek?
Tootsie Roll, we're not leaving till we get a picture with him.
Oh my God.
So anyways, to share those lessons,
What
that would be one of the
wonderful-
biggest surprises for me.
Yes, what a wonderful inspiration. And before we go, tell me tell us about the letter that somebody can write if they come to the...
Yeah, so that is that's the letter that we have. So when people come into the store, they purchase cookies, or they might have a soldier that they want to, have put on the list
And
to
they can
receive some
write.
cookies. But they can come and write a letter. So we have little kids coming, big kids coming, everybody. And when the soldiers open those boxes of cookies, it's just amazing because they share it. But getting that letter,
And
from the
just,
little kids.
It's heartfelt. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's
My
really
goodness,
cool.
What a fun show. Wasn't that fun? And I did okay. I mean, I feel like my character won't get
look
the...
it.
Not bad.
All
not
right,
bad.
that is very good.
Yes,
All right, well, I
yes.
started bikini because, summer's coming.
Yes, and then Trixie has hers. It looks
Trixie,
awesome.
show it. Let's see.
Okay, yep.
Oh, the placement of the M&Ms. Okay, we're going to eat those ones.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Beth.
Yeah,
And,
so
I
nice.
really
Thank you.
appreciate you sharing your story. It's so interesting and fun, and it shows how much fun you're having with what you love to do.
Yeah.
And what I always say to folks is, get in touch with me. Join me here in the Cabaret and share your story, because there's always someone fun out there doing great things for other people.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming on. So we'll see you next time on the All
Thanks
Friends
for having
Cabaret.
us.
Yes,
Yeah, it was great.
yes.
All right.
That was awesome.
Wonderful.
There you go,
Yeah.
Trixie.